replaced by human-modified landscapes, including pastures, croplands, and urban areas. In addition, the destruction of this biome has been intensified by climate change. The forests continue to be vulnerable to logging and agricultural expansion, particularly oil production. Therefore, deforestation continues at an annual rate of 0.5% and up to 2.9% in urban areas, threatening many plant and animal species with extinction.
Hi, I'm Sophia, and I'm going to explain how we take action. So, in light of this problem our region faces, the decarbonized team from Colégio Magno started a project to plant native trees from the Atlantic forest in a square next to our school in order to restore the trees that have been deforested. Magno purchased the territory last year, and with the help of students and teachers, we plan to nurse the square by cleaning it regularly, and we also plan to plant more trees in different places to restore a part of the lost Atlantic rainforest. Thank you so much for your attention.
Wonderful, Brazil, amazing. It's so great to see. I mean, Brazil, you've always been one of our strongest schools, and it's so wonderful to see you putting this into action. And oh, I'm so excited by all the work that you're doing. Thank you so much, Brazil. Great job. So we did promise our friend Carlo in Indonesia that we would check back to see if he was ready to share. So I'm going to stop my sharing. And Carlo, are you ready to go now? Would you like to jump in?
Oh, you're muted
there.
Yes, sorry. I think after this country, I'm still kind of editing it because I still have some trouble in trying to copy my presentation to the sharing presentation. So
That's
I think
totally
after this,
we have 2 Argentinian schools in the chat, Carlo. When you're ready, just send me a note and we'll scooch you into the program.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Sounds good. So now I'm going to reshare my screen and we're going to join our friends from Argentina. We're going to start with St. Nicholas School if you'd like, and I will get your presentation up here and ready. Our friends from, it is.
Hi.
great. And so, hello, Argentina. Are you able to say hello again? St. Nicholas is going to be the first site to go. There you are. We have your screen up.
Hello, our friends at St.
So hello everybody. I'm Mile from St. Nicholas School in Argentina, Buenos Aires. And if you go to the next slide, you will be able to see a picture of the whole team. So this is us. And our issue, which is presented in the next slide, is the pollution of the La Plata River and the Riachuelo here in Buenos Aires. So this is a river which runs around Buenos Aires, and it's extremely polluted by many different sources. And if you go to the riverside, you will be able to see the pollution. Like we have some pictures in the next slide where you can see like the plastics floating there, and it's the litter. You cannot appreciate it very well in the photos, but the color of the water also shows the low quality of the water. It's kind of grayish, greenish, brown, which is of course not the color water is supposed to have. Actually, the quality is so low that only extremely resistant microorganisms are able to inhabit the river. And it's of course a great health risk for people as well. If you try to swim in it or if you drink it, you are bound to have some health issues. The contamination of the river is mainly due to the fact that the river water is in direct contact with the sewage water. Many businesses also throw their waste, their industrial waste, into the river. And there's also many chemicals from agriculture and pesticides which are dumped into the river. All of this mixed together creates this very harmful and toxic environment for living beings and for humans as well. And the greatest problem it creates, besides the fact that this water is only usable for like sailing and nothing else, but the worst part is that it's actually in contact with our drinking water sources. So Buenos Aires city's drinking water sources could become polluted to a dangerous level if contamination keeps increasing. So if you go to next slide, you will be able to see the youth action we took. So first, we decided to do some research. We did some field research. We went out, students of our school, collecting data about the waste thrown around the area. We also did some talks in the school to create awareness about climate change in general and what our impact is and how we can help out. And finally, we decided that the best way to help, besides creating awareness about the dangers of the issue, is to talk to the municipality or maybe even create a law project to regulate the disposal of waste into the river. The next slide is just some pictures of our presentations at school and our data collection. So yes, this is it, and thank you so much for listening.
Fabulous presentation. I love the I love how students have chosen not just to take action, but Sarah, they've chosen to take action based on research. You know, like sometimes there are people who just get out and do stuff, which is good, it's good to see that people are moved. But if we are able to do those kind of actions based on research, based on knowledge, based on evidence, rather than just based on feelings and emotions, but we bring those two together, that's where we become most effective.
And also sharing that knowledge with those who are younger, because I know that many of you in what you've been writing and what I've been hearing, even last year when we were in Spain, it was we need to get younger people the knowledge and inspired to take action. And so that you're sharing that with other youth is just amazing. So thank you so much, Argentina. That was wonderful. All right, we have up next our another friends from Argentina from the Global School.
Do I start?
Yes, it's over to you, Sophie.
Hello, my name is Sophie, and I am speaking on the behalf of the Global School Argentina, and this is us. So we did this all virtually, that's why we don't have a picture together, but that's like, okay, I guess. The next slide, please. So the issue that we decided to check is that, so after analyzing our school community during this project, we have noticed that the issue here is that we consume too much, and we could easily reduce the quantity of plastic and light we use if we worked a little bit harder, because we use way too much plastic and it was something that is too normal and we should stop. So the next slide, please. Our youth action plan would be that our idea is to remove all single-use plastic that we use at school, and also to reduce the amount of energy we use by maybe having classes outside or maybe working together in the station, so we could produce our own energy with solar panels. That would be smart. And that I think that is all. The next slide is just our names and the names and the school, but that is the stuff we have been doing for now.
Sophie, that's great. Great
Wonderful.
presentation. I love that action, and your action is such something that it doesn't require people to spend a whole lot of money or people to do massive works to make a change, but you're really making it so that this is an action everyone can take. We all can go out and you can challenge everyone in your school and everyone in your communities to follow the example that you're setting. Great work.
Wonderful. Now we hear from Carlo that he is ready. So we'd love to share, allow time for Carlo to share. I'll stop sharing my screen. And Carlo, over to you.
I've shared my presentation at the presentation sharing. So at your presentation actually.
Okay, that's great. So Carlo, what time is it in the morning for you right now?
It's at night in here actually. It's 11 p.m.
Oh, 11 o'clock. Ah, yes.
In the night. Yeah.
Yeah, we have almost with 14 different schools, actually even more than that, probably 14, 15, or even 16 different countries that are here. I'm curious how many different time zones we cover. I would think that we have most of them covered. And so 11 o'clock, and I think our friends in Taiwan, it's even later for them in the day. And it looks like so we have a few people who are in the same time zone. Maybe our Philippine friends are in the same time zone of Indonesia. Carlo, we're having trouble finding your presentation right now. So what we made, are you able to just talk to it or email it, or how do you feel?
I think I'm just gonna talk to it.
Actually. Yeah, that would be good.
Yep. So so first I'm gonna just try to introduce the team. So actually our team isn't consist of my school. My school is State Senior High School 6 Surabaya, but this team is consists of several different schools. But my school here is actually you can call it as the one who leads this team. So my school is located in Surabaya, Indonesia, and it is placed at one of the most strategic place in the city. And the school is surrounded by so many living things, so many environments, and especially river. And with that in mind, with this fact exists, my school often participates in such programs that relates into environmental action. And then I'm gonna explain to you about the country's issue here in Indonesia. So in here, Indonesia, under climate change, Indonesia is predicted to experience temperature increases of approximately 0.8 Celsius by 2030. Moreover, rainfall patterns are predicted to change. With the rainy season ending earlier and the length of the rainy season becomes shorter, some environmental issues, each as the cutting mangrove forests especially in Java, to make room for fish farms further worsen the effects of climate change. Now, as we can see that this issue, this issue that my country have is very severe, and we fear that this the consequences of climate change can not only affect my country itself, but can also affect the whole country as well. In here, Indonesia, and then I'm gonna explain to you about an interesting, unique tribe in here, Indonesia. It's called Baduy tribe. It's Baduy tribe. In this tribe is very unique. It is traditional. This tribe follows a traditional rule. They don't follow the rule modern culture like us. So they are not familiar with electricity. They are not familiar with smartphones or technology. So that's why they are very familiar with very traditional with very old tradition. And with that fact exists, this tribe they this tribe they have the ability to preserve and use environments in a good and healthy way, and that's already their mindset because they follow an old tradition. With this old tradition, they keep the environment around them very healthy, which makes them uh, which makes them one of the key points to our issue of today. So that is actually all from me. Thank you.
Great presentation. It's so interesting, all the different cultures that we have in our countries. Some of them are very industrialized and many things we share, but in each of our countries we have very unique things as well. And especially when we learn from our indigenous people and the more traditional societies, we can look at those more sustainable lifestyles and see about how we can learn from them.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, Carlo. All right, next, as we jump back to South America, is our friends in Colombia.
All right, Colombia, ready for you to take over the presentation.
Okay, so can you go to the next slide, please? So, well, we are from Gimnasio Los Caobos, Bogota, Colombia. Our group members are Ángela Garcia, Ana Vera, and Sofia Ramirez. Next slide, please. Well, what is our project about? Our project is mainly about the use or the correct use of clean energies in our school, Gimnasio Los Caobos. Nowadays, the issue we are facing is the contaminating source of energy called the hydroelectrics. The hydroelectrics have an environmental impact that causes the manipulation of vital sources such as the water. This water comes from rivers and lakes that are being affected with the diversion of their selves. Also, the hydroelectric machines release a gas called methane that contributes to the global warming even more than the carbon dioxide. Because of this, our project is about replacing the current energy source, that is hydroelectrics, for a cleaner energy source, that are solar panels, using this to generate the principal amount of energy used in our school. What are the objectives of our project? Our main objective would be to replace the energy consumption that the company that generates this service provide us with environmentally friendly sources that would be the installation of solar panels. This would reduce the carbon footprint of our school. We would also be teaching the little ones to care for and make them aware for the importance of conserving the environment and the renewable sources. And to complement this, later on, promote the elimination of paper consumption to reduce the felling of trees.
Okay, so here are like the steps. So we are going to follow so we can do this project. So the first one is we need to talk to the company named Solar for Schools. This is a company that like looks like help schools to provide this energy. And second, we need to request an application to a school to see the electricity bills for the past years, so we can compare like how this is going to help the school, how we can do a chart to understand better the situation. The third part is present a proposal to the school showing the advantage that the school will have compared to this project, how this would help us. And the fourth part is when the school already approved this, start to begin to implement the project in the school together with this company named Solar for Schools. Thank you for listening to us.
Excellent.
Yeah, well,
it's great to see such deep learning that's taking place at the same time as and learning how to work in systems, right? That it's not, although individual action is very important for us to understand and to enter into dialogues with companies that are providing energy, and to learn how to work with different groups. That is where that is an important part of creating change. So great job, Colombia.
And I think, Colombia, you'll be really interested to listen to our presentation from Canada. I believe both Lacombe and Robert Thirsk have petitioned their school to transition to solar power and have been working with their school to do that. And so even we might set up a conversation between you two to what did the solar impact make? Because if you have information that says this is how much it saved a school, it's another argument you can make on your behalf. So I think that'll be a great connection that we can help for you. And that Canada has already started that process, and what have they sort of encountered? So yes, amazing. Thank you, Colombia.
All right, and who is next? I believe we are still in South America, maybe making our way a little bit further to the south. And I believe our friends from Peru are up next. Hello, Peru, are you there?
This one this one I beg. What is it before?
So now we do have a couple of sites that are coming in and are unmuting. Remember, you need to keep your microphones turned off unless you are speaking. And so Peru, I think we had you, and I think we're ready for you to share again. So Peru, over to you. So we get that presentation up. There we go.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rosita. I'm from Colegio de Ciencias, Huánuco, Peru. So we have a project about trees. And so I'm going to start explain you. Knowing that Peru has been deforesting many areas, as young people, we want to restore those green space. So we want a reforestation project, which we call the Spirit of Trees. Our work group is made up of boys from 2 regions of our country, Huánuco and Trujillo. But over time, and analyzing the results, we want to expand our project.
The objectives. The first is decarbonize. By planting these trees, we will reduce elevated levels of CO2. Also improve and help biodiversity. Thanks to the fact that these trees will be the habitat of different species, they will provide food and shelter for animals. Improve air quality. As we know, trees naturally capture CO2 from the atmosphere during photosynthesis stage and use it to form carbohydrates and use into the plant structure. Also reduce global warming. Trees act against global warming as they absorb CO2, which is a gas with greenhouse effects properties from the air. Next slide.
Our commitments. Our goal is to plant 100 trees, 15 in Trujillo and 15 in Huánuco, in order to inspire youth to take action, planting trees and taking care of them. With this project, we will spread awareness about the importance of trees and involve them in planting trees. And finally, we will monitor the growth and quantity of trees.
Okay, Howard, excuse me, go back, please. Yes, thank you. Okay, how are we going to do it? The first step is we will get the shoots by donation or to buy them. The second is we will plant these shoots in place that does not have green areas. And the third is we will motivate students to participate by being volunteers in this project.
Again, good morning to everyone. My name is Mateo. I'm from Trujillo, city of Peru. explain my project that is EcoBricks. Next slide, please. Well, first of all, what's the problem that we want to solve? This project will try to reduce inorganic tons of garbage by giving them another opportunity. Besides this, we can help the earth by recycling inorganic tons of garbage, like plastics especially, and also we can help people by using this kind of bricks, people that without resources in our country. Next, please. What are our goals and objectives? First of all, reduce garbage. It's common to see in our city lots of garbage through the streets and public parks, for example, and then motivate people by giving them another view of the global warming by recycling plastics and inorganic tons of garbage. And finally, help families by giving these kind of bricks, helping them to build, for example, benches, small houses. Continue, please. And our vision for summer of the next year is, first of all, near 200 of bottles, these ones, and then we will going to increase, and we have to take into account that one bottle requires 1 kilogram of plastics. Thanks.
Hello, I am Andre. I will talk about my project. Next slide, please. Well, as we know, the water is very important to us. Unfortunately, in Peru, 22.3% of the inhabitants don't have the drinking water service, according to the INEI, National Institute of Statistics and Informatics. Another problem that Peru has is the vulnerability to natural disaster of the infrastructure and pipelines provided by drinking water service. Next slide, please. However, my project is related to drinking water service. The objectives of this project is to build and test the effectiveness of a filter that was already created by the company Coast, and to propose it as a solution to the problems I told them. In this image, here's the filter design. This filter, unlike other types, contains a biolayer, which is made up of microbacteria that have the function of removing pathogens found in dirty water. Okay, that will be all I come to explain to you in general about my project, and it is all. Thank you.
Oh, their thank you slide. Your thank you slide isn't loading for some reason, but it says thank you, and I'm going to read some of the names. Rosita, Andrea, Catherine, Kareem, Mateo, and Andre. So thank you, and Andre, your English is just, it's so wonderful. For so many of you who've been involved in the project over a few years, it's so wonderful to see you grow and change and learn. And Andre, your ability to communicate is just evolved so well, and we are just so happy to have you still involved in the project. So thank you for sharing again this year.
And it's so interesting to see the different presentations and the connections that we have.
Mm-hmm.
The Andre, the group that you mentioned is actually Cost. They are from Canada, and we have worked with them many times in the past. So it's, even though we have not worked with them in this project, it's interesting to see that come together.
Mm-hmm. And fittingly, our next school is actually from the same city that Colégio is based in, which is our school, Robert Thirsk from Calgary, Alberta.
Hello, Robert Thirsk. And although they have a picture there that is very green, if you were to see a picture of Robert Thirsk right now, it would be very white, as we have snow up here in Canada. Robert Thirsk, are you there?
Hello.
Now you're very quiet.
I'm very quiet, okay.
there's any way you can get a little closer to that microphone. I've been to that school, friends, and it is a beautiful school. All right, let's see how that audio is going on their side. One more time. Hello, Robert Thirsk.
Hello.
That's better. Nice and loud. Keep going, Chloe.
Perfect. Next slide, please. One more time. Awesome. Okay, so there are a couple youth in our school that have realized that we need to make a change in environmental impact and have decided to come together to make a group and figure out some ways that we can continue this to help our school and make a change. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so on the left, we are currently in the process of finding a company and receiving the go-ahead from our school board in order to put solar panels, a micro wind farm, and weather station on top of our school's roof. At the moment, due to the pandemic, it has become very challenging, but we're still moving forward and very excited to see the results at the end. On the right, this is a thank you. On the right, this is a carbon capture system. CO2 is captured from the school's heating system, and its byproduct, potash, will be used to produce soap that can be used as a fertilizer soil enhancer. Next slide, please. Last year, during the pandemic, my bad. A student in our school has created this legacy project in where each graduated student will receive a sapling. And it is new and is going to be tried out this year, which is very exciting. Next slide, please. Our school has worked with the group in Alberta known as CPAWS, and we've done many projects that have grown to help with environmental and energy education. Next slide. This is just an example of a couple symposiums that I, as well as a couple other students, has attended through the Calgary climate change kind of councils and stuff in order to help work with a bunch of leaders in Calgary to get youth voice through. Next slide. Awesome, thank you. I think the next is Lacombs.
All right, great job, Calgary and Robert Thirsk. And we are going to stay in the same region of Canada, but there's a highway that connects Calgary all the way to Edmonton, which is where we live, and actually goes all the way into our small town of St. Albert. And it goes right beside the town of Lacombe, which is now going to share. So hello, Lacombe.
Hello.
All right, Haley, over to you, and your friends at Lacombe. And we are ready for you to start, Lacombe, as soon as you are ready as well.
Okay, so your slide is frozen. Okay, so my name is Haley, and I'm here with my EcoVision classmates from Lacombe, Alberta. The picture on the left is our first project with a 6 kilowatt solar system, and the picture on the right is a net zero greenhouse with 2 acres of garden and fruit trees. Next slide, please.
All right.
Hello, my name is Neha.
Hello, my name is Taylor. We also have 2 other EcoVision friends who aren't able to make it today, Chelsea and Harika.
Next slide, please.
So we have an issue, which is greenhouse gas emissions from electricity generation, and our solution is renewable energy and carbon sinks. Next slide, please.
So Canada plans to reduce 44 megatons of greenhouse gases through 1, green infrastructure like this solar renewable energy systems, 2, through stored carbon like this carbon capture diagram on the top right, which is removing CO2 from fossil fuel emissions and storing it underground. And 3, Canada is also protecting natural carbon sinks like wetlands, forests, and gardens. Next slide, please.
So our youth action is to install a solar system on our Roofs for Kids project and develop an educational pollinator garden. Next slide, please.
EcoVision is reducing greenhouse gas emissions through our educational gardens and food forest, of which you see a concept drawing on the left. The picture on the right is our Roofs for Kids project, which has a 3.9 kilowatt solar system and a living roof.
And that's it.
Excellent, great job.
Wonderful, thank you so much, Lacombe. Your teacher in particular, I know that he has won the Prime Minister's Award for Excellence in Teaching for helping you lead you students through these projects. And when he was receiving his award, I know he said that it was the students that came up with the brilliant ideas and they should be getting the award, and that really he was just helping you reach your potential. And this is a great way of thanking all of the teachers involved in this project, that none of these projects would be possible without our amazing teachers who are working behind the scenes to support you all. So thank you, Lacombe, for that wonderful, the Roofs for Kids. If you guys are looking to check out a website, anyone here, any of the students here, it's awesome. They have some baby goats that are visiting their school. They have the bee program. It's an amazing set of programs that they have at Lacombe. So thank you, Lacombe, for sharing with the whole world. All right, we have our friends now at Bullis. We'd love to throw over to you. Hello, Bullis.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. We were wondering if you had like the rest of our presentation, or you'd like us to share our screens. We weren't sure.
I'm going to make you a co-host right now, and then you can share your screen because I didn't receive it.
Thank you.
So you can share away.
Okay. So hi, my name is Nyla, and I'm also joined by Ella, and we're 2 of the 3 of us representing Bullis Charter School in California. Sadly, Piper couldn't make it.
Here is a picture of our club. This year we have a much smaller group of students than we usually do, just because online there were many more challenges in place and our club could only meet during a specific time slot that conflicted a lot with other clubs. We are truly grateful that we still have the opportunity to collaborate with you all.
Okay, so the issue. So for our community, we're fortunate that the pressing issues we face only come in seasons. And so, we've got the fire season, we've got the drought season, but they're only in seasons, which makes it, I guess, easier for us to handle. And we just saw the end to one of our worst fire seasons, and we usually experience rising temperatures and droughts throughout the summer and warmer months. But we also focus a lot on reducing and eliminating plastics, something that we've done in the past with our plastic straw movement, and we were actually one of the groups to help push towards a ban in plastic straws, so that was cool. And in 6th grade, a group of our students from our club also got an article published in our local newspaper to make an impact in our community. Right now, our focus is the call to action, educating on a larger scale. We've noticed that many large, influential, and impactful companies reside and are very active in this area, hence it being called the Silicon Valley. And right now, our biggest concern is that these groups are not properly educated. And during this time, we sadly have to focus on educating instead of the hands-on action to do with educating. But we hope that many companies want to help, and they need to be pushed in the right direction, and they can only once they have the right knowledge and the right mindset. And in addition, many are very detrimental. You guys have heard about the whole Amazon movement. And we want the large companies and brands here to know that we've already pushed as many small businesses as we can, and it's up to them now, because we've realized we can't keep doing as much for this issue, because it's so much more, it's about the systemic change and something we can grow towards if we can get this affluent area to start listening. And that was just a debriefing over there, because Amazon's annual carbon footprint is actually 44.4 million metric tons, which is equivalent to around 600,000 tanker trucks of gasoline.
So this is our Decarbonize Youth Action. These photos are a club and a group of students addressing the problems that we capitalize on. Because of COVID-19, we do not have any in-person footage or pictures of our work as we move forward, so we thought we'd show you what we have done already as a club. We do identity maps every year, no matter if TIG uses this as a project to introduce everyone to bring art as a new form of expressing our views. We follow up with many art projects, including an initiative we started in 2020 about setting up a mural in our community. The second is our ongoing efforts to host stalls and booths in every place that we can, educating the many people in the process. We started a project before COVID about trying to reduce our electricity usage and reached out to our principal and suggested the idea of an energy monitor for our whole school to raise awareness to the whole school about our usage. We went to this direction after our plan for implementing solar panels did not succeed. This year, we hope to continue addressing our awareness to action aspects and also educating the community. We hope to start spreading out more, reaching out further. We're going to start prompting our club next week by launching our initiatives and action project process, which is something very new to most of our club. We are excited to be able to teach a new group of students even under these new circumstances. It's amazing to see them grow and teach them everything we've learned when joining this amazing group of people.
Thank you.
Great job and great presentation. It's so interesting to see how you and inspiring to see how you have continued to take action even in the midst of COVID and the challenges that are presented, and making it hard to get together, but still important to continue the work that you're doing. Great work.
Mm-hmm. Now we have seen North America, and we've seen South America, and we've seen a glimpse into Indonesia. But we are moving now over to Africa and our friends in Kenya who will be sharing today. It's just I'm so impressed by all of the work that you're doing and that you're championing in your communities and your schools, and I can't wait to see what's next. So over to our friends in Nairobi.
Hi, my name is Maya. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're from Kenya and we're presenting Citizens Academy. And
in Kenya, many people don't understand what climate change is, and when they do, they either have the wrong information, and this lack of knowledge has hampered many government efforts, and people who aren't aware will not adhere to the laws put in place to regulate such activities. Despite a few government efforts to regulate activities that led to deforestation, there's little hope of success in the foreseeable future.
Deforestation simply refers to the decrease in forest areas that are lost for other uses such as mining activities. The loss of trees and other vegetation can cause climate change, soil erosion, fewer crops, flooding, increased greenhouse in the atmosphere, and a host of problems for indigenous people.
Deforestation is a big issue in Kenya, which leads to cutting down trees for wood, charcoal, timber, etc. We plan to change this by planting more trees and taking better care of our environment.
So one of our short-term actions that we take is to use social media to spread awareness on climate change and the deforestation that takes place in Kenya. We'll create a Facebook page with the main purpose of informing people on how deforestation is leading to an increase in climate change. And for the Facebook page, our expected audience are older people in power who are capable of making a change. But we're also planning on using other platforms such as Instagram to target younger people who can influence their parents also.
Another long-term
thing that we are going to do is, as we said in the continental meetings, that Chuka forest is being affected by deforestation. We are planning as a school to plant trees in Chuka forest so we can do our part and help the indigenous people there.
Lastly, talking to leaders or people who have a bigger voice in society and educate others. Though being a long shot, it is very possible, especially in this age, to contact these individuals. If we reach them, we hope that they can educate and inform others on the matter, which may have a ripple effect and encourage political leaders to influence education systems to teach climate change and its effects.
Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed our presentation. I hope you learned something new.
Wonderful. Thank you so much to the team in Nairobi. Amazing work as always. And we were talking about linkages before, and I think a great linkage for you guys in terms of reaching out to government would be our school from the Philippines. Because I know after they came back from COP25, they outreached to their local government and were able to present the paper to their government peers. And so maybe we'll set up a conversation between you and those students so they can share how they reached out and what they focused on and the messages that they were sending. I think that'd be a great conversation for the both of you. How do you reach out to government better? Because I think it's a great idea. Youth advocating for this sort of work to be done and for governments to be held accountable to their NDC targets is really the motivation that they need to do the work. They need to hear from you that it's important to you and that when you can vote, if you can't already, that this will be a deciding factor for you. They need to know that so that it becomes a priority. So I think it's a great idea that you guys are going to reach out to the government. I really encourage everyone to write letters and to phone and to make it known that this is your priority. Wonderful. So we have our friends now in Greece. We're jumping from, I know that we have many of our friends from Nigeria here on the call, and hopefully at the end we will be able to visit all the schools that didn't have a presentation for today. So I know we have our friends at Mill Pond and our friends from Alaska, friends from Nigeria as well. And so we will come to you at the end. But over to you, Greece.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, guys.
Excellent. We can hear you clearly and are ready for you to share. So Greece, are you there? Are you ready to share?
Yes.
Are we the ones changing the slides?
Yes,
No?
yes. Thank you very much. That's our school. It's the first model experimental school of Athens. It's actually located in the center of Athens, near the heart of the city, actually. Can you please go on with the slide? That's our crew. We're 4 people, Eli, Lenny, me, and Anastasia. Can you please continue? Okay, now I want to talk about the issue we have in the country and what we will later try to solve. An issue is that our country is tourist-based, so a really big amount of the energy of the money provided for the country is from tourism and not from other sources. And if it is from other sources, these sources are coal or industry based, and we want to change that. The other problem that really matters is that the youth haven't spoke enough. There are some protests that have taken place near the center of the city, but unfortunately they haven't seemed to be changing many things. On these protests that happen every year in the center, our school participates, and we go there to represent our opinions and in some way pass what we think should be done by the government.
We can distinguish the fact that there is a lack of media awareness, and many people tend to ignore the problems that climate change makes. So often these problems become invisible to the audience that is located in Greece. Also, there is a lack of motivation when it comes to caring about the environment. Sometimes we can observe that many people are caring about the environment and they almost never take action to protect it, which is really sad actually. So that's an issue as well. You can change the slide if you wish.
Okay, so currently our country is in lockdown, so we don't have actually the opportunity to do all the things that we want to do, but we have came up with some actions that we can take during lockdown to raise awareness. So we've been thinking about doing in general social media networking, since it's pretty much the only thing that we can do from our homes, like following, supporting, and promoting organization concerning environmental issues. And this is with the ultimate goal of building our own community online of students and youth in general, which will aim for the contribution of all citizens into fighting for our planet. And maybe once we're out again and once we can actually do stuff, we will use this community to organize events, etc. And another thing that we've been thinking it would be good to do now that we're all stuck in our homes, it's to compose a text illustrating our ideas, proposition, potential plans for the government, and our understanding on the matter, and how youth sees this whole situation, and the fact that we do have an opinion. And I think it's very important to make it heard. So this could be promoted by other pages that are more popular, and just, I don't know, it would be good if it went viral or something, who knows. So this is it for what we can do for now.
And these are the following are some, oh, sorry, can you go back? Thank you. So the following are some actions that could take place after the lockdown when we can go out. So first we thought that it would be a great idea to take part in actions and events regarding the environment, such as cleaning coasts and reforestation. And also we could participate in protests concerning environmental issues, as well as urging the government to introduce measures and laws. Next slide, please. So these are some pictures. This is not us, but these are some pictures of Greek youth. The first one is teens and children cleaning the beach at Crete, and the second one is a protest in the center of Athens about the climate change.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Grace.
Thank you so much.
We're very, very happy to be here and see you all from all these different countries. My kisses.
Thank you. It's so wonderful. So many of about half of our schools are returning schools, and half of the schools are new schools, like you are, Grace. And it's so wonderful to see how, even as a new school, you've really taken initiatives on what have we learned and how can we put this into action. It's just so wonderful to see everyone working together as a group.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Wonderful. Now, as we leave our friends in Europe,
yes,
We're going to go further to the east and connect to our friends in India. Hello, India.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Very clearly.
Yeah, so I'm Ankit from the Hyderabad Public School, and I'll be today talking on behalf of my team. Could you please go to the next slide? So this is our team. We took a screenshot together. Can you please go to the next slide? Okay, so an issue that we had last month actually was that our city of Hyderabad experienced massive flooding, resulting in loss of lives and property, destruction, which was mainly due to the poor state of our rivers and and of course climate change. This was a sobering reminder to all of us that climate change is not a distant threat, but something that we're all going through. This has been linked to the indiscriminate felling of our trees in our city, as well as the improper waste disposal and insufficient measures taken by the government. Could you please go to the next slide? So yeah, so that's a picture of our city drowning in water. There was a lot of wreckage. And the other one below is how murky and muddy our water is. Just to think that this same water was once drinkable and was used for agriculture. So this is how it is. Please go to the next. So these are a few points of things that we did on the behalf of our school, and I'll just go through a few of them. So we did a e-waste collection drive. The thing to tackle about this flooding situation and our unclean rivers is that we made a petition into the government where we signed different things and to promote the cleaning of our rivers. That's quite important. Creating awareness about environment protection to battle pollution and also sanitization, and followed strictly done to prevent the spread of COVID-19, and avoiding the use of plastic bottles and tiffin boxes throughout our school. Can you please go to the next slide? So every year we have a Harita Haram, or like a tree plantation drive in the month of June in our state of Telangana. We also have done composting in our campus. Old books are always exchanged for different new ones, where the old books are recycled and made into new ones. And installation and use of renewable energy sources, solar panels throughout our school, and anti-cracker campaign for our festival of Diwali that is celebrated each year, and reducing reuse and recycle of culture of a school and community, waste segregation in the school and community, and rainwater harvesting pits. Can you please go to the next slide? So we're quite happy and proud to say that now most of our school, like 90% of the energy of our school is coming from these solar panels in the picture provided there. And also as part of the NCC or National Cadet Corps, we always have each month a cleanliness drive in our own school campus where we clean the whole campus perfectly. Can you please go to the next slide? Since we haven't had a single day of proper school, during the month of April, when our country, India, had a complete lockdown, we as the team, the COP team, did where we planted a sapling each at our homes, and also we encouraged all the students in our whole school to do so. Yeah, can you please go to the next slide? Yeah, thank you so much.
For some reason, your thank you slide didn't load, but thank you. Amazing job, India. Thank you so much for sharing.
It's so good to see such a wide variety of action. Friends, you know what? Some some schools are able to do expensive projects like solar panels, and some schools are able to do different kinds of projects with the resources that they have. The important thing is that we are all taking action with the resources that we have. Right? And so whether it's doing something big, whether it's doing something small, the most important thing is that we are hearing about something, we're feeling about something, and then we are going and we are changing the actions that we're doing, and we're helping our communities change. And so whatever action you're taking, big or small, it is so very important. And that's what we need to make a real difference.
Wonderful. I guess we might have had Turkey as our bridge between the continents of Europe and Asia, but Turkey is coming now, and so we would love to have your presentation. Over to you, Emily.
Hi, I'm Emily. Can we move to the next slide, please? Some facts about Turkey. Turkey is a country in Asia, especially geopolitically. It has formed a common bridge connecting East and West. Turkey, the field, is located in one of the few countries in two continents. Next slide, please. About our school, Dr. Binnaz Ege, Dr. Rıdvan Ege High School. Our school is in Ankara, capital city of Turkey, where school devoted to Atatürk's principles and reforms, adapting and contributing to national and universal values.
There are 6 people in our team, 5 students and 1 teacher. Our names are Begumpet, Emily Bıçak, Zeynep Çimen, Elif Naz Bilgili, Ceyda Daşdemir, and our teacher's name is Gülay Kiremitçi. Since the beginning of the project, we have been working very fondly in this team. As writer students of Turkey, we are very happy to be in UNESCO.
Air pollution in Turkey is the deadliest environmental problem in Turkey. Thousands of people die each year from air pollution-related disease. Residents in different cities in Turkey are exposed to more than the limits of European Union and the World Health Organization. The main air pollutants in 81 provinces were identified as follows: 1 thermal power plant, 2 other industries, 5 land traffic, 5 manufacturing industry, 67 residential heating.
As reasons for not preventing air pollution, poor quality coal use of citizens in 25 provinces, land conditions in 15 provinces, lack of social consciousness in 14 provinces, insufficient control in 6 provinces, lack of fire training in 6 provinces, meteorological reasons in 6 provinces were determined. For the 2 degrees Celsius target, Turkey's annual carbon dioxide emissions should reach a peak of 390 metric tons of carbon dioxide levels by 2020, and after that date, with a gradual decline, they should be withdrawn to 2010 levels in 2030. Therefore, within the scope of the 2 degrees Celsius target, Turkey's commitment in Paris may be to reduce emissions in 2010 levels by 2030. Here are some photos of our youth action. We informed our friends and school about our projects. Since we're at home, we weren't able to do much work outside, so wanted to raise awareness more. We decorated our windows like this so everyone to see. Thank you for
Next slide, please.
All right, to our friends in Turkey, thanks for a great presentation. Again, it's exciting to see as we, for those countries that do bridge different cultures and find themselves geopolitically and culturally with such great diversity that's there, to see these students also taking diverse action and raising awareness no matter where you are. So great job, great presentation, Turkey. We're looking forward to continue to see the great work that you're doing.
All right, now for our friends in Taiwan, over to you.
All right, to our friends in Taiwan, I'm sure it is very late at night, or someone might even say it's early in the morning for them. Taiwan, are you able to hear us? Are you able to share? If you are speaking, we're not able to hear you. In fact, Taiwan was with us at the very beginning of the presentation when we had our first exchange when we went to Morocco. And that was way back, I don't know, COP19 or COP20, something like that. They were there and a part of the project and sharing the great work that they have done. It looks like our friends in Taiwan are not with us right now. Taiwan, we will come back to you later. We do see, oh, here we are, they're back. Hello, Taiwan.
Hello, can you hear us now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Hello everyone, we are Philly High School of Zhongxin University students from Taiwan, Taichung. My name is Chuck.
My name is Rita. Next slide, please.
Today we're going to talk about our action toward climate change. First, we do some research about our government's policy.
And then we will share the government's policies with other nations through video conference. And we will compare our policies with over 20 nations.
And then we'll take our climate action. We do ecological restoration of protecting the endangered species in Taiwan.
And also learn the alternative energy on that day.
And let's talk about our issues.
Next slide, please.
Our issues that is so closest to our daily life shall be the first one is air pollution. Taichung has the world's largest thermal power generation, produces 14.7% of PM 2.5 in Taichung City. So the citizens will want to wear masks when we are in outdoors.
And another issue is the plastic crisis. Oh, next slide, please. In Taiwan, Taiwanese produces over 3,211 tons of plastic reductions per year, with a large amount of plastic production that we produce every year. It is an emergency for us to take action to reduce the use of single-use plastic products. Next slide.
Next, we're going to talk about our actions towards the crisis we just faced. First, we believe that social media is a great power, so we're creating videos to raise public awareness.
Next slide.
Next slide.
And next.
And next. Thanks. And remind the public the dangers of the air pollution and the importance of wearing face masks.
And another videos that we create is to promote the use of reusable straws like the paper straws and the biodegradable straws. And also we promote our public to bring their own containers and shopping bags.
And if you are interested in our video, you are welcome to contact us for the links. And last, we do ecological restoration. We have joined a field trip and we weed the grass to protect the endangered species. Taiwanese lily will grow easier during the spring. And then we do the learning the alternative powers of like wind power and the offshore wind power.
With the social media, the videos we show, and the green habitats we do on our daily life, we think that students can also do some changes about the climate change issues.
And that's all for our presentation. Thanks for listening.
Great job, Taiwan. I like that balance of awareness and action that you have, and even the creativity where everybody has different skills to contribute. Some of us are going to be great at making videos. Some of us are greatest at art. And some of us are scientists and like to do research. And it's when we bring all those skills together that we are most powerful.
And Taiwan this year had an amazing idea that I hope to capitalize on and grow next year. And that's, they held the lecture that they were speaking of, and it was like a sub-decarbonize, and I know many countries went, and it was totally planned by Taiwan, and we'd love to feature your own country. So if you have a prominent speaker in Argentina, and you would like to arrange a conference, and then other schools come, because we love to coordinate things, but we get so wrapped up in the day-to-day of Decarbonize, we forget about these other opportunities. So I think next year, that's a wonderful, thank you so much, Taiwan, for putting in the work to organize that speaker and invite other decarbonized countries, because it's such a wonderful way to feature the amazing work that your scientists and your activists are doing that we don't even know about. And so next year we'll invite all the teachers who would like to organize their own country events and invite others in. I was just so inspired by your motivation and your initiative to do that for everyone in the team. So thank you, Taiwan.
Great. Now, friends, as we move into the last of the countries that's going to present on a regular schedule, and we know that we still have some friends in the United States, in Madagascar, and maybe even in Netherlands that would like to share the work that they're doing, and maybe there are others of you who are here also. We have not forgotten about you, but we will let the Philippines share next, and then we will officially, because we scheduled this until the bottom of the hour. And so then we're going to talk about next steps, things we can do afterwards. And then we will afterwards have the presentation from those countries that haven't shared yet. All right, so we haven't forgotten about you. And just because it sounds like we're ending the event, we are not. And you will have a chance to share. We just need to make sure that we end on the official time, and then we will translate into those schools that we didn't receive your presentation before, and we will have a chance for you to share then. So you are not forgotten. We will come to you soon.
Exactly. All right. Over to our friends now in the Philippines.
Mabuhay! It's nice to see you all virtually again. I, Isa, will be introducing our school, St. Joseph's Academy of Ciencias, once more. Our school is one of the oldest Catholic educational institutions that has been standing for the last 104 years. This is our third consecutive year as a global lead school for this international youth collaboration project. Your turn, RV.
Next slide, please. Mabuhay, I am RV and I'll be introducing our country briefly for you today. The Philippines is an archipelago made of 7,641 islands. We're situated close to the equator and at the Pacific Ring of Fire, leading us to be prone to typhoons and earthquakes. However, being a tropical country, we also have lots of top-notch beaches and tourist spots. Next slide, please. Here on this slide, you can see the group photo of our youth delegates that participated in COP26. Next, for the overview, we have Erica and Irene.
Mabuhay, I am Erica and I will discuss one of our pressing issues. Calcium magnesium carbonate, commonly known as dolomite, covers 500 meters of Manila Bay as of this time. The official beach project began just this September. However, the problem here lies in the respiratory conditions of the people, the long-term damage to marine life, and the untimeliness of it all.
If you could turn to the next slide, please. Mabuhay, I'm Irene, and I'm here to tell you about more issues that we are facing. So, two of the country's main NDCs revolve around reducing its carbon footprint through energy efficiency. The Philippines is still highly reliant on thermal electric power generation, which powers 56% of the country's energy demand. The picture at the bottom right is a shot of Pagbilao, Quezon's coal power plant. After its establishment, two other coal power plants were inaugurated near the area, with the latest being introduced in October of 2019. So next slide, please. Along with this, improper waste management also brings about the country's biggest contribution to greenhouse gas emissions. In 2018, the Philippines ranked third in the countries producing the most waste in Southeast Asia. Waste production in the country continues to rise steadily. Now, Jamie and Yasmin will discuss with you just what action is being taken by Filipino youth today.
Hi, I am Jamie, here to present our hashtag Decarbonize Youth Action and what we could do to better the progress in meeting our country's NDCs. Next slide, please. First, understanding and educating ourselves about our environment leads us to efficiently impart impactful information to others. Open communication enabling us to share ideas, suggestions, and solutions in ways we can better disseminate and fully mitigate climate change. Next slide, please. As part of the youth, we can also utilize modern technologies and digital tools, such as social media platforms, to spread needed awareness across the globe.
Hi, I am Yasmin, and as a youth, we shall consciously speak out about climate injustice by seeking our government to act because they play a critical role in creating a sustainable future. Next slide, please. We should do our duty by actively engaging in several environmental projects. Along with that, our school has decided to treat and vaccinate some stray cats for adoption as seen in the photo. Finally, in our little steps, we must ensure that the effects of climate change are tackled and mitigated, such as continuing our school programs on proper waste management and maintaining a small garden as a way of preserving the beauty of our environment.
These simple steps and actions could make significant change in the environmental issues that our country continues to face today. Through sharing a tweet about the dolomite dumping, throwing our garbage out in the right segregation bin, and lessening our own carbon footprint, we would be one step ahead in restoring the beauty of our environment.
And that takes us to the end. Thank you very much for listening.
Excellent presentation, Philippines.
Wonderful. And you know, they were the first to log on this morning. They were eagerly waiting for us to open the room, even an hour before the event started.
Oh,
they were
so
ready to go.
eager.
And what a wonderful presentation. I think that the work you're doing is, again, everyone sort of might have in your group, you might have different ideas of the best ways to serve your community. And it doesn't mean that one is better than the other or more important. There are so many ways that we can enact climate change action in our community. You guys have done such a wonderful job of thinking of many different ways that could look. And I'm always inspired by your presentations. Thank you, Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
So what is next? Now, remember, we'll get to many schools still yet to come who have been behind the scenes adding to our PowerPoint. But right now we want to talk about what's coming next. We have right on the time that we said we'd leave today. And so I want to get to these first. Now we have the town hall that we'll be doing that is open now. And the link is on the classroom and we'll pop it here in the chat as well. And we want your thoughts and your opinions on these issues. So this town hall, there's 10 questions, and this is what we will use to guide the writing process this weekend. The students and youth from all over the world will come together this Saturday and Sunday, and oh my goodness, you should see the schedule. I think I am up every hour on the hour for an entire 48 hours as we come together from different parts of the world to address these important questions. So again, we will pop those in the chat, but also they have come through on your teacher's emails, and they're in the classroom as number 7.1. So we want all of your thoughts on that. 10 questions, even just one word answer will be great. So that leads into the paper that we're starting to write this weekend, and will probably take a few weeks, but we're going to concentrate on getting it all sort of onto Google Docs this weekend. So if you're coming to join us, please either bring your own or team with someone else who has a device. And you can see the student pairings in that online. Now, after that, once we have the paper, we'll be presenting it to some leaders of governmental and non-governmental organizations. This will happen in February, and it'll be done. We will be choosing 2 students to represent each continent. So if you would like to be that continental lead at our global presentation, please let your teacher know or let us know, either in the classroom or by email, or there's a million ways to get a hold of us. And so you let your teacher know that you would like to be considered to be that continental lead who presents to some leaders of the planet. We welcome all of you to apply. We want the best and those who are really passionate about this issue to be talking to the world leaders.
And we will be looking at the amount of work that you have done. So if you are passionate, but you haven't really been very active on the classroom or contributing, then that's not someone that will be at the top of the list. It's those students who have been working and contributing for the long period of time that we will look to first.
Wonderful. And so, and then Earth Day is when we will come back together. And so all of you who have presented on these wonderful project ideas, April 22nd is Earth Day. And that'll give us a chance to come back together and talk about, have we been successful? Where are we in the process? Maybe you've just started, but you've made a little bit of progress. We want to help you. We want to celebrate the work that you're doing and where you've gone. And if it's still just a plan, well, we'll celebrate that too. But we want to be able to recognize the work that we're doing and how we're a network, we're a team. You aren't alone in your country doing work. We are all doing our own projects in our own ways that build towards a decarbonized network. And so we want to be able to celebrate and mark that with you. And it'll launch us into COP26 in Scotland. So that will sort of be the start of our next year's project. It comes and goes so fast. It's incredible. But, oh, and something that I've added to our PowerPoint, but that isn't really appearing right now, unfortunately, is t-shirts. Now you can see we got our decarbonized shirts. This was last year's, this was 2 years ago. We had some green ones the year before that. We will be launching our t-shirts right away here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the same ones for this year as next year. And we'd like to help you use that as a fundraiser to get to Scotland. Because as you know, we don't have a lot of funding to be able to help everyone who would like to attend. So we're gonna send you the colors and the schema and all of that, and you will be able to sell these shirts on behalf of your school to whoever might be interested, and as a fundraiser towards your travel. And so we thought this was a great way to get more of the word out, but also to help you get to Scotland so that we can celebrate your voice and champion your voice with the leaders of the planet.
Excellent. Well, that sounds great. So we know we have our things coming up this weekend. And so if you'd like to participate, please let us know. Please reach out. And then we're going to have the presentations in January that are going to be starting once the paper is finished. And then finally, we're going to get together on, well, not finally, but we're going to get together again on Earth Day. And then as we all lead towards Scotland in November, December of next year. So this is the end of our official time together, but we know we have, and so some of you have to go because we are already 5 minutes over the time we promised, but we have some schools that have not yet shared. We will stay connected because we want to hear from you as well. So if you need to go, that is okay, and we understand. Thank you for coming, and for those who haven't shared yet, please stay on. We want to hear from you next.
Now, before you log off, please look in the links in the chat. I have put together the questions 1 through 10, the links to the documents. They're separated as questions 1 through 5, and then 6 through 10. I'm gonna pop it in once again, so it's right at the very bottom for everyone right now. We would love to hear your responses. It's important. This is what's gonna build the foundation of the paper. So up first in our round 2 of presentations, I hope our friends Brooke and Reagan are still here from Alaska. We are gonna go over to you now. Hello, Brooke and Reagan.
Yes, hello.
Hello, thank you for staying. It's loading up.
There we go.
Okay, hi, I'm Brooke, and my partner is Reagan, and we're from Soldotna High School in Alaska, which is a state in the USA. Next slide. This is a photo of Reagan and I. We don't have too many recent ones because of COVID. We haven't been able to see each other that much, but this was taken last year, and it's at Alyeska. It's a skiing and snowboarding resort in Alaska, and it's so much fun, and a lot of people come to go travel and go see it. Next slide.
Okay, so next slide. Hi, I'm Reagan, like Brooke said, and it's just the two of us working on this project. And our issue we chose to focus on is just biodiversity and the impacts that climate change is having on our biodiversity. And with the melting sea ice and all of the different stuff and the oil drilling, we wanted to focus on that. We have an oil rig down here in the bottom left picture. That's a big industry up here.
That's all having a big impact on our Arctic ecosystems, and with all of that happening, there's kind of a big worry that they're going to like collapse. And over here in the right picture, we really focused on beluga whales because those are really local, and there are only about 300 of them left of our local population, even though there are 5 different kinds of species in Alaska. Our local population only has 300 left, which just kind of demonstrates the hit that our biodiversity is taking. And so I'll take it on to Brooke on the next slide with the action that we're going to take.
Hi, I'm Brooke again, and this is our Decarbonize Youth Action. Next slide. So what we're trying to focus on is in the bottom left corner, you can see a classroom. We were hoping that once COVID hopefully subsides, or we at least get back into classrooms, Reagan and I would be able to go and we'd be able to present to younger students, older students, basically anyone we would be able to present to and tell them about how climate change is affecting us in Alaska, which just living here my entire life, I'm only 15, and I've seen and experienced the climate change firsthand with how much snow. When I was younger, I used to be able to step outside and I'd fall up to my torso in snow. And at this point, the past few winters, we haven't been getting nearly as much as we used to. And then we'd also like to, in the bottom right corner, you can see the newspaper. We'd like to be able to reach out to the public, maybe newspaper articles or Zoom calls, just something we'd be able to do. And then on the top, it shows a lot of chemicals and gasoline and all this bad stuff. A lot of boats and just people on the river or on the ocean, they dump all their polluted stuff into the water, and the toxins are not helping our animals, they're not helping our ecosystem whatsoever. So we're hoping we could partner with someone or just go out and build some toxic waste bins by the rivers or by the ocean, just to hope people would start dumping it in there and we could healthy and safely remove all of the toxins instead of it going into our oceans and ecosystems. Thank you.
Excellent. Now, friends, before we go to the next presentation, we're going to turn the screen off for a second, and we're going to get people to give us a big, what?
Smile.
A big smile. Decarbonize.
And we're going to take some pictures here.
Okay, so, all right, ready?
Decarbonize.
Decarbonize.
And we're going to go to the next screen. We got 6 screens here, so. And decarbonize.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Decarbonize.
And we're on screen 3 now.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Everyone, decarbonize.
Awesome. And screen 4. We have some friends.
Ready?
From Turkey and Kenya and Philippines.
1, 2, 3. Decarbonize. Last one. Here we go. Everybody, and 1, 2, 3. Decarbonize.
Awesome. Oh, you're so amazing. Thank you for putting up with our need to be
Get some great pictures.
posterity. That's right. We'll tweet these out. You can see yourselves on the interwebs. Wonderful. Now we wanted our next on our list is our friends from Mill Pond. We'd love for you to come and say a few words. I'm not sure if you have anything to share in terms of slides, but I can always give you some co-hosting.
Yes, we do have some slides to share. If I could just have the co-host. Thank you.
We're just putting you up, and there we go. You should get the notification now.
Okay, so if Sina and Mahi are ready.
Hello, my name is Mahi.
And I'm Sina. We are from Mill Pond School in Westboro, Massachusetts. Massachusetts is on the east coast of America, and Westboro is about an hour drive away from the Atlantic Ocean.
Our school consists of 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. Both our remote classes are in 6th grade and part of the Virtual Voyagers team. This is the picture of our #Decarbonize team who have worked together to create this presentation. We are all excited to be here. Our global issue is hurricanes occurring on the east coast of America. Hurricanes, also known as typhoons or cyclones, occur when warm air hovers above the ocean and starts to move in a circular pattern. Storm clouds start to gather and wind speeds rise, causing these swirling storms.
Due to greenhouse gases, oceans are warming, causing storms that come from the west coast of Africa to gather more energy, which creates larger storms, a big problem. Hurricanes have a tremendous effect on people in America, as 1/3 of all Americans live on the East Coast. Hurricanes flood homes, which can destroy houses, businesses, and buildings. They can also knock down power lines, causing massive power outages. Hurricanes can destroy wildlife and plants, causing homes and habitats to be lost. Next slide. Oh, yeah, okay. After some research, we are excited to share that we've come up with a few solutions.
We need to create hurricane shelters that will give people a safe place to evacuate to from the harsh winds and rains of these storms. Another new idea is to build a wall to prevent water from flooding coastal places that is built in a curved shape to block water.
A few more ideas we've come up with for reducing the impact of hurricanes are predicting hurricanes better and building pipes underwater that slowly turn water in the ocean cold.
Lastly, in case a hurricane does happen, we can have on-the-go hospitals on boats and vans to help those who are in danger or hurt. These aren't the only ways to reduce the impacts of hurricanes. There are some things you can do right in your homes to reduce hurricanes. To start, you can save energy by turning off the lights and using renewable energy like solar. This reduces the amount of fossil fuels burned, and in turn, the amount the earth is warmed. You can also try to bike and walk more instead of driving, and try to eat less red meat since cows produce methane, which is a greenhouse gas.
These are some of our ideas and problems that we hope to improve in the future for the better. We are looking forward to working with you and making an impact on global warming. Together, we will work hard to find more answers and
#decarbonize.
Oh,
Thank you.
I've just been so impressed with the quality of work from grade 4, 5s, and 6ers. It's amazing. And a bunch of them are joining for our writing team this week. And I'm just so excited to have you guys join us. And thank you so much for the wonderful work you put into this project this year. It's been fantastic. All right, we're gonna go now to our friends in Madagascar. We're jumping across an ocean or 2 or 4.
Yeah, it just depends which way you go.
It just depends which way you go. So Madagascar, are you still with us? We would love, I'll share here your...
I can see that
I can see them.
Our friends in the Philippines are still here. It must be late in the Philippines. Look at that dedication. All right, Madagascar, we can see your presentation.
Oh, I saw that you came up. Maybe you need to unmute.
We can't hear you if you're sharing right now, though.
Hello.
I think you have you might have 2 audios.
Or 2 computers that are connected.
The next slide.
Our friends in Madagascar, do you have 2 computers that are on in your room?
Next.
Okay.
The next slide, please. My name is Mumina, and she is Mia. We study at the High School of Disendonokumir Saputsunamia, and this is our decarbonized team. Next slide, please. So our issues, the major problem of climate is due to deforestation, natural forest.
We can hear you. It's
natural forest cover. 8 8.9 million hectares in 2014, with a deforestation rate of 1.1% per year between 2010 and 2014. That is to say, an annual loss of 19,000 hectares per year. Besides, 80% of Malagasy people are agriculturists, so they practice land farming for food. Making charcoal is also a cause of that problem because 90% of Malagasy people still use charcoal, especially for cooking. Madagascar don't have again a concept of zero waste. Here organic waste scattered everywhere, but also waste produce greenhouse gas like methane.
Next slide, please. What we have done last year with the Eco School program, we were the winner of Energy 2019 competition at the Indian Ocean level. Our project was to biogas Ulisianjena Punmedna Saputnamian. As a result, a biodigester was built this year in our high school. To start the biodigester, we need household organic waste. So we went door to door to educate people in our neighborhood to sort their waste. And it was also a boost to raise awareness about climate change. In our high school, every Monday morning, after the flag raised, we do environmental awareness. And the last Monday, 13th of November, was our class tour, and we raised our high school's awareness about climate change. For it, part of the students in the class danced with the song "The Time Is Now" by Benfield School. The other students carried sing illustrating the causes and consequences of climate change. So what still we plan to do? We have written a letter addressed to our President of the Republic about reforestation, but we wait for protocols to send it. We want to set up a water collection system in our high school, but we are still for funding to realize this project. We want to reforest our high school in this rainy season. With our teacher, we introduce our colleagues to urban agriculture. So the time is now. Get our act together. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Excellent presentation. Great work, both in awareness and in action.
And I know that you were very nervous about the language barrier, but you both did wonderful in presenting today and in representing your country. So thank you so much for sharing. It is so wonderful to see that you are sharing what you have learned with the rest of your schools in the school presentation. What a wonderful thing to share. I am excited that I have copies of the posters because I will put them on the decarbonized classroom to showcase as art.
Excellent.
It was wonderful.
All right, so we have some more schools that are still here. Are they able to share, Sarah?
Well, that is all of our slides, but if there's, I know our friends from Costa Rica have put in a note, and we have friends from the Netherlands here. So if there's anyone now who wasn't able to say hello and would like to have a few words, you're welcome to raise your hand or unmute at this time. We'd love to invite you to to tell us about what you're doing.
We also see that Bangladesh is here as well.
Oh,
So
yes,
yeah,
our friends
just
in
let us know
Bangladesh.
that if you would like to say something, you can either write it in the chat window or just even simply start talking.
Hi, so I'm from Poland and we also have a presentation. So if I could share the presentation, I could present it.
There you are. It's coming through now.
Okay. Hope you can see it.
There we go. Perfect.
So, hi again. I'm Paulina and I'm a leader of the Polish group, and that's our presentation. So let me tell you something about us. So in these pictures, you can see our group, but you have to know that not all of us are in this slide, but yeah, most of our group is included. Our group in this year counts more or less 15 people, so that's quite a lot. And I'm so like happy to see that each year our decarbonize, decolonize project group is kind of growing. So in this year, like our country represents 3 schools. You can see, you know, the name of our schools in this slide, but actually we are not from one like city, but we live in the same region of Poland that is called Silesia. So the issue. So we have a lot of different issues and environmental problems in Poland, and the 3 main ones are biodiversity, loss, water and air pollution, and deforestation. But we still believe that even bigger like problem is that people, Poles, are still not aware. This lack of environmental awareness is such a huge deal in Poland. And the other thing is that people maybe do not believe, or they do not nothing to make a change, and they just do not take this environmental problem seriously. And I can say it like from the student side that students now, like they obviously have to learn some part of ecology, but it's something more like they have to learn like some formulas from book, and they sometimes just do not think about what they actually read in books. So that, you know, makes me like kind of sad, because that's how it works sometimes. I even found some statistics that say that 82% of Poles say that they're aware of the environmental problems like in our country. It's more often women than men, but is it really true? Like, I would say that these are some empty words. I would not say that 82% of Polish people really do something like that they make a change. They just basically say that, yeah, maybe they heard about something, but that's all. So what do we want to do about that? So definitely we should raise awareness, especially among teenagers, like in our schools, by presentation, leaflets, posters showing our country climate problems. We could also be promoting some environmental awareness, like in the current situation where we do not go to school, we have online like schooling. We can promote this kind of problems in our social media accounts. We also can stay up to date to the latest environmental news, read books, and use other resources, and obviously share it with other people. We also could take part in protests, but now it's kind of impossible due to COVID-19 situation. And from just basic things that we can change, these are definitely limited carbon footprint, garbage segregation, or just basically using bike, public transports, rather than cars, just to move around the city or just to get into school, if we will just come back to school really soon. And the last thing is like taking part in some ecological project. I found some old pictures, like on the right side of the slide from COP24. And for all of you who doesn't know, who doesn't remember, COP24 was held in Poland, Katowice. And because of that, our school and a lot of different schools from Poland had the chance to meet with the students from the Decarbonize Colonize project. Here I found like the presentation of their Decarbonize Colonize project. It was actually in my school. So yeah, that was quite a lot of people there, and that makes me like really happy to see that they were really interested in these presentations. And the last thing I think I wanted to mention is that we are like doing something, even it's a pandemic, and next to our school, like ecological club that is called Club Gaia, actually planted some fruit bushes and bird houses. It was like a week ago, so that's like the latest news that I found out, and that's so nice. It's so good idea because this bird population will grow in our area. So yeah, so that's all I wanted to say to you, and I hope that you enjoyed our presentation. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Paulina. And you did such a great job as leading the Polish team. I know that a lot of the responsibility fell to you in terms of coming to the meetings and scheduling the events. And it's so wonderful to see such great leadership in our students and our youth. So thank you, Paulina, for all that you did this year to have Poland involved in the project. Amazing.
All right, now we know that there were some other schools that were here. We just don't know if they were able to stay overtime. Bangladesh, we saw, was here earlier. Would you like to share anything, Bangladesh, about your work? We also saw some friends from the Netherlands that were here as well during the event, or if there are any other schools that we have missed. There are many countries, 43 countries, and so it's exciting to see those participate who we didn't even think were going to.
I think sometimes too, you feel as though maybe you're not doing enough. And so you don't want to say that we're just planning a small project, but really all these projects are important. And it feels good to support each other and say, you know, you're doing what your community needs and it's different from what my community needs. So at no point do we think that anyone is not doing enough. Even participating in this project is building your own knowledge that then allows you, when you're in a conversation with friends or family, to say, no, this is an important issue. And it's important to my friends in Madagascar. And it's important to my friends in Poland. And now it's important to me here.
We can go home and say, this isn't just about a textbook or about a YouTube video, but to my friends in India, I saw the flood that happened for them there. And that was very devastating to see the struggles that they had. And to our friends in all these different countries, we know the impact. It's about the people we know, not just the theories we have. So friends, it looks like we are wrapping up for time.
Yep.
We're
only a half an hour over.
Oh, that's amazing, for sure.
But we had over 160 participants in this meeting today. Oh, it was wonderful having you all here from all over the world, every continent except Antarctica, because those penguins aren't doing enough.
No.
That's who's not doing enough.
Seriously.
So we want to thank you for joining us at all times of day. First thing in the morning for our friends in California to very late at night for our friends in the Philippines and Bangladesh. So thank you everyone for joining us today, for your hard work on this project. We look forward to seeing your work on the questions, the town hall questions, the paper coming up this weekend, and then rejoining us all in April. Your teachers will hear from me again soon with information on the t-shirts. We're just so excited to be able to celebrate this important topic and how you are addressing it in your community today. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Have a wonderful day, evening, sleep, morning, wherever you are. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, all of you.